Only 9% of Canadians felt positively about President Trump. 80% felt negatively. That is a record high.
What did Carney do? Welcome back to Moose and Loose. Today, we've got Donald Trump and Howard Lutnick caught on camera, noticeably arguing with each other, seemingly blindsided by Carney walking away from the deal. This does not bode well for Canada. Let's jump into this. Donald Trump came out with a couple of tweets in the past 24 hours. He talked about supply management and fighting for the farmers. He was at this Indy 250 race where him and Howard Lutnick are caught on camera, which I'll show you here in a second.
A Sunday at the Washington Grand Prix for U.S. President Donald Trump, who for the first time overnight weighed in on failed trade talks with Canada, leading to an all-out trade war. Canada wants the benefits of being a state without being one, the president said on social media. They have also charged our great farmers for many years massive amounts of tariffs. No more.
To think that they're going to go to war with Donald Trump and actually win that war with the U.S., I think it's foolish on their part.
The U.S.'s fight with Canada over trade getting major play on American network TV today.
As trade talks with Canada fall apart.
It's Canada versus the United States.
With the president facing pushback already at home.
I think the last thing we need right now, as our economy is getting back on its feet, is a trade war with Canada.
I don't know why Donald Trump pushed so hard on this trade war, because he's pushing us towards China, and the liberals are taking advantage because they're already in bed with China. It's like he's playing into their trap because Donald Trump just can't not get the good deal. He has to be the bulldog. Using all his experience in real estate, he wants to always be the one getting that upper hand deal. Well, this is a case where he should have just cut 150-50 and got it done, because the liberals are just milking this now, and they've been blindsided by this. I was wondering if Donald Trump was doing some Uno reversal there. He announcing all the deals basically done. Like he announced it a couple days ago, right? We got this deal done. Just need to iron out a few things, thinking that this was going to force Carney's hand. But really, it's done the opposite. Carney didn't want the deal. He never wanted it. He just wants Donald Trump pissed off so he can just flare up Canadians. And you see it all over Twitter. You got conservatives fighting with each other. Canadians backing Carney. Oh, you did the right thing, fighting that evil Donald Trump. People are just sick and tired of Donald Trump. They're saturated with it to the point they'll just back Carney because he's the guy speaking against Donald Trump. That's it. They're not even looking into the deal. Like, we should be looking at the deal and then making a decision, not just blindly backing Mark Carney.
Business groups are speaking out against escalations, pointing to rising costs for the American people, asking both sides to get back to the negotiating table.
Donald Trump cares about the business class. He cares about those billionaires. They don't want this, and they're speaking out.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has promised retaliatory measures set to be imposed September 8th. Some suggest creating a window of opportunity.
Yeah, there's a window of 8 days where this can get done, but Carney's utilizing this to bump himself in the polls for the by-elections. He's a charlatan. They timed it like this. They knew what they're doing. The liberals are excellent at politics. They're absolute snakes. They don't care about Canadians. Somehow Canadians have to wake up to that and stop being used by them.
In this pause for the American side to regroup and to become a bit more coherent.
Though public polling here prior to the breakdown in talks suggests the Prime Minister has the political capital to keep fighting back.
I think that we're going to have to see real change on the American side, a weakened political position, a drive and a desire that it's in their self-interest to strike a deal before we get back to the table in any meaningful way.
Now, Prime Minister Mark Carney has promised dollar-for-dollar retaliatory tariffs.
That's such a bad idea. It just makes life more expensive in Canada. Do we need that? Do we need life to be more expensive? I'm going to show you here in a second what Mark Carney's plan and goal was just a few years ago.
But a list of those goods has yet to be released.
We need the deal to actually make a proper decision here on what really happened. Now, before we get to Trump and Lutnick arguing, I posted this on Twitter, just digging around. This is from June 22nd, 2022. Mark Carney working at Brookfield. What did he come out with? It says BGTF, co-headed by Mark Carney and Connor Teskey, focuses on investments to accelerate the global transition to a net zero economy while delivering strong risk-adjusted returns for investors. This is all about money. Carney was doing it all for money at Brookfield. Obviously, it's a big company. That's what they do, is want to make money. He's still doing the same thing. He says we need to fight for the environment. It's about money. Here's another one I found. This one's from August 26, 2020, 2 years earlier than the previous one. This is 6 years ago. Mark Carney said this. Says, Mark Carney remarked, with an accelerated transition to a net zero economy, imperative for climate sustainability and one of the greatest commercial opportunities of our time, I'm looking forward to building on Brookfield's leading positions in renewable energy and sustainability to the benefit of its investors and society. Mark Carney got into Brookfield because it's one of the greatest commercial opportunities of our time. What do you think he's doing in the big office today? He's just pushing through forward policy that will benefit his own shares in this company that he should have been forced to sell if he wanted to be prime minister. I thought this one was funny here. This is from a JP Morgan share owner email that went out, and it says, referring to climate change risks, former Bank of England Governor Mark Carney warned that, in quotes, all financial institutions need to do more to enhance their transparency and choice of highlighting the impact, good or bad, of what they are financing. That's funny coming from this guy who's been the least transparent prime minister in Canadian history. And yet Canadians are like, oh, elbows up, yeah, fight back Donald Trump. Like, sure, you can hate on Donald Trump, but let's see the deal. Let's not just back this guy because he's pushing back against Trump and everyone is burnt out of Trump.
We're working to make the lives of our citizens better. All right.
No, he's not. This guy laughed when he said that. You know, his body language too. He says, we're working.
The lives of our citizens better. All right. We're working to make the lives of.
The delay on his hands going to we're working, you would expect that to be in tandem with him saying those words and gesturing outwards. Instead, he gestures inwards and laughs. This guy is working for himself.
Make the lives of our citizens better. All right.
Charlatan. Now, here's the footage of Howard Lutnick and Donald Trump sitting here with Melania at this race car event. Look at the body language here. These are two guys that are arguing. They're pointing at each other. You see that? Lutnick's like, no, it's you. It's your fault. You did something. This was on you. Whatever that was. Trump's friends with him brought him on. Like, that's why he's there. And he can do that and get away with it. Trump's not going to throw him out. But I mean, we know Howard Lutnick got involved in the whole negotiation right at the very end. Jamieson Greer answers to Howard Lutnick. And it got to the point where I mentioned it. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Lutnick's one of the few people that can push back against Donald Trump. And they fight over things. Ultimately, Trump gets the final say. Here's Lutnick complaining once again about the auto industry in Canada.
I mean, think about it. Why would a factory that was making cars in Michigan move to Canada? Because I tell you why. Because they did it because there weren't unions in these locations. We harmed American workers.
So he's basically been a broken record here for a year and a half, talking about how bad things are in Canada, bring it back to America, the auto pact. The question is, why is he pointing at Trump? Why are they having this argument at the racetrack? This is interesting. Like when Trump gets aggravated, he kind of sits back a bit. You can see him clasping his hands there, and he kind of just takes it in, then he'll go back at. And Lutnick and him are arguing about something. It says, walk away, walk away. That's what I hear on the audio. I don't know if it's something else, if that's picking it up from these guys. It's kind of hard with the car noises in the background. So this situation looks more like Lutnick is frustrated at the situation and then he's somehow blaming Trump. Trump is pushing back here. Trump's face is not seething. We see him get like that sometimes if he's really pissed. He's usually pretty good at holding a poker face though. But something's going on here. And there's no doubt that Trump is frustrated with the situation because he didn't comment on it for 2 days after it fell apart. So I think he's feeling foolish because Carney pulled the rug on him, didn't do the deal after he announced there was a deal, and made it look like he got a failure here. I can only imagine Trump feels pretty pissed off that this isn't something he can brag to America, because now it's almost like he's not going to take it back. He's not going to announce that the deal didn't happen, but he feels kind of skunked by Carney. This has turned into a mess because Jamieson Greer went over to the New York Times and told them about the deal, at least some parts of it, and Carney brought up the whole attacking the language thing and controlling who we're dealing with or who we could trade with. In reality, as Andy Lee's pointed out here, Mark Carney's top donors, Oliver Dasmarius, chair of the Canada-China Business Council, and Scott Bryson, vice chair of the Canada-China Business Council. The Liberals are so wrapped up up in China. The Americans wanted us to not be trading with China. Maybe they said get rid of your EV deal with China. I don't know, but there was something to do with China there, as well as apparently the language thing regarding Quebec was regarding packaging, French language packaging. Like, these are small things. Now, you would think if you're so close to getting a deal, like very close, what are you going to do? Rip it up and walk away like Mark Carney just did? No, you say, hey, let's do another extension. We need another couple of days. We need a week. Let's just hammer this out and get this done. We are so close. Instead, he rips it up and leaves Donald Trump standing there looking like a goof for announcing that there's a complete deal, and then there's no deal. Carney knew what he was doing. He waited for the opportune moment to skunk Donald Trump and make him look like a fool and get him pissed off. I've said this before. Mark Carney is a very smart man. He clearly knows how to manipulate people, how to take advantage of people, how to rip off people, and how to use people. He laughs about working for Canadians.
We're working to make the lives of our citizens better.
It's just so funny to Carney. And he got Donald Trump with this one. Now, this is not going to bode well because Trump is either going to increase the tariffs more once Carney puts in his counter tariffs or whatever. It's going to turn into a real trade war where Canadians will lose their jobs, but Carney will be laughing all the way until he calls an election sometime in September, I'm estimating. Now, maybe he is too cowardly, too scared. He doesn't want to pull the trigger and he just rolls out for the next couple of years with his manufactured majority. I think more likely he's going to call an election and try to get a new 4-year mandate.
At this farmers market where the focus is shopping local, many have U.S. trade on their minds instead.
Just another aspect of the American bullying and narcissism.
They were already kind of iffy in my books. Like, we used to go there a lot, and now we've not gone at all.
The dramatic end of trade talks between the U.S. and Canada and the beginning of the American president's 50% tariffs on a wide swath of Canadian goods has strained a relationship that's already been tense since Donald Trump's second term began.
The real damage is going to be on Americans who are complaining about cost of living, affordability issues, higher interest rates, higher inflation rates.
In a world where
the real damage is going to be on Canadians too, and we're going to have a bigger effect here because our businesses are going to go to America. American businesses aren't going to shut down and come to Canada because of Donald Trump putting on tariffs on us and us putting tariffs on them. Like, they're not going to lose their businesses, but we are going to lose ours. There's already people who said they're losing 90% of their business already overnight as these tariffs go on.
Trump continues to insist on referring to Canada as the 51st state. Negative opinions towards the United States on this side of the border continue to grow, even before the latest trade talks imploded.
Only 9% of Canadians felt positively about President Trump. 80% felt negatively. That is a record high in negative sentiment.
I'm trying to shop Canadian, and I haven't been in the United States since then. Yes, so since 20.
This is a case of people are so saturated with Donald Trump and the way he bulldogs people. They are tired of it. And Carney and the Liberals, they're just politically so good to just take advantage, use the fear, use anger, and just weaponize it for their own political advantage. They don't care, the wrecking ball, bulldozing through Canadian businesses. It's interesting, too, that this is on Global News here that we're watching right now. But CBC has been radio silent for the past about 12, 18 hours. You can see, 12 hours ago was their last video, 14, one day ago. It was like their coverage just completely dropped off of this.
24.
I'm gonna just keep it in a little plastic. For independent businesses, more tariffs means making a tough choice: absorb the cost or pass it on to American customers. And if Canadian counter tariffs come into play,
almost half of our members that do trade are importing from the States, and that's going to have a big impact.
I'm hopeful that we stay strong and overcome this time.
Details on potential supports for businesses and industries from Ottawa are expected this week as the nation enters another uncertain time ushered in by Donald Trump's trade policies.
Those supports for Canadians, like, there's not enough. We can't, what are we going to increase taxes and just keep paying and paying? Oh, we'll support this industry, that one, just keep paying. Like, we can't do this. We can't support to keep artificially inflating and propping up all these industries that are getting hammered. The real solution here was for Carney to do the right thing, make a relationship with Donald Trump and wait for the right moment, use all of our leverage and get a good deal. And he just wanted to do everything possible for his own political career. And Canadians don't even see that. They're just going along with this. It's like watching a train wreck about to happen.